What's going on, guys? Recently, 2K announced the ratings for the top 10 players by position for point guards and shooting guards. We're still waiting for the 3 through 5 positions to be announced, but I'll tell you who's been announced so far. For point guards, first off is Steph Curry with a 93. Second is Chris Paul with a 90. Third, Russell Westbrook with an 89. Fourth, Kyrie Irving with an 87. Fifth, John Wall is an 87. Damian Lillard, 6th, 86. 7th, Mike Conley, 85. D. Rose, 84, in 8th place. 9th, Kyle Lowry, 83. And 10th, Jeff Teague, 83. Personally, I think that this list is pretty sound. I believe some guys can move up or down in ratings, and I'd be fine with it, such as I believe Russell Westbrook should deserve a higher rating than Chris Paul based on last year. Even though he did make the playoffs and Chris Paul did make it to the second round, Russell Westbrook had no team since Kevin Durant was out, and I do believe that Westbrook did have some deficiencies in his game. But as of last year and what might happen this year, I think Westbrook has or deserves a better rating. Everyone else on this list has about an accurate rating, and I'm a Portland fan, I mentioned that before, and I think Damian Lillard personally, 86 is a very good record for him, or rating for him, as last year he did pretty well, and I think this year with a lot more responsibility since the rest of the starting five left and even some of their bench guys left, he's going to have a lot more shots and opportunities to show what he has, so he's definitely going to go up. For the rest of the list, I think I'm pretty fine with it. The next couple guys I wish I were in there would be like Isaiah Thomas, Brandon Jennings maybe, and there's just a few other guys like Drew Holiday, Ty Lawson, Eric Bledsoe. I don't know if they consider Bledsoe a point guard or shooting guard, because whoever's the point guard or shooting guard for Bledsoe and Knight, that combo, one of them should be up there in top 10, right around an 83. So that's just really quick what I think about them. And of course, there's some guys who might surprise. And then let's move on to shooting guards. For shooting guards, first place, James Harden, 92. Second, Klay Thompson, 87. Third, Jimmy Butler, 86. Fourth, Dwayne Wade, 86, my bad. Fifth, Kobe Bryant, 85. Sixth, DeMar DeRozan, 83. Seventh, Wes Matthews, 81. Eighth, Monte Ellis, 81. Ninth, Victor Oladipo, 80. And finally, 10th, Bradley Beal, 80. Now for this list, I'm alright with it as well. James Harden definitely deserves the top spot. He's one of my favorite players in terms of what he did last year. I know that sounds kind of weird as a Portland fan, especially since Portland and Houston do have a mini rivalry right now, especially since 2 years ago with Damian Lillard's crazy buzzer beater to win the series. It sounds a little weird that one of my favorite players is from the losing team, but he's a very special player. He carried his team to the Western Conference Finals. Yes, he did have Dwight Howard, but a lot of the other big pieces were missing, such as Patrick Beverley and Domantas Montaigne. And some of you might be like, alright, Demo's not that good, but it's still another big man, and instead they might have had to play Joey Dorsey, I believe, a lot more minutes. So he does deserve the top rating, and especially with this new rating system where everyone's down a couple points from last year, 92 is a pretty fair grade or fair rating for him. Klay Thompson is arguably the second best shooting guard right now. Him and Jimmy Butler, I believe, are the two would be fighting for second place in terms of their production as of last year and probably this year. They're very close. I do believe James Harden is ahead of that pack. Not too far, but he's still ahead of it. And that's why I think they're very close. But Klay Thompson edges out a little bit because he has a much better shooter. Even though Jimmy Butler isn't bad, Klay Thompson is an insane shooter. He's half of the Splash Brothers. And Jimmy Butler, he is a very good defender and all-around player. That's why I put him third. Or they put him third, and I'm not arguing with it. Dwayne Wade at 86. I think that they're kind of focusing on this year. He should get more rest, as hopefully if his team's healthy, he will be able to rely on them more than himself and make the playoffs, because their team looks pretty nice this year. Of course, they have the starting five that you can use in 2K. They're all back, and they can all play together, because as of last year, Dragic and Bosh never played a game, and that'd be really cool to see them together on the floor, as it'd be a very good spacing team with those two. However, they do have Gerald Green and Amari Stoudemire coming off the bench along with Justice Winslow, so I believe that that 2K is thinking Dwayne Wade's going to have a lot more rest and a lot more time to recover so that he can play at a much higher level. So that's why fourth, I think, is a very good rating. Fifth of Kobe Bryant is pretty good as well, especially since he tore his... No, did he tear anything last year? His rotator cuff maybe? I don't remember. He always gets injured. at this time. I mean, the guy's been in the league for 20 years, but he's been struggling with some injuries, which is why his rating's kind of low, but he's still, when healthy, can drop 24 points per game, right around 4 or 5 rebounds and 4 or 5 assists without even trying, it seems. So that's why he's that high. If he can stay healthy this year and prove he's still an elite level player, he'll definitely go right up to 90, if that, maybe close, like an 89 or so. DeMar DeRozan at 83 is kind of fair as well, even though I'm not a Raptors fan, I don't like him too much. He doesn't have a shot, which is why his rating's kind of low, but his athleticism and he's already in defense is why he's so high, along with his scoring, which is very impressive. 7th with Wes Matthews at 81 is pretty good. I believe he was right around in 81 when 2K15 stopped updating their overalls, and this might be due to the fact that he harmed his Achilles or the rating drop that he might have went from, I think he was like an 82 or 83 when the game ended, to an 81. However, he is a crazy good defender and three-point shooter, so that's exactly what 2K I feel like is focusing on this year, especially since they gave Klay Thompson a higher rating than Jimmy Butler. 8th with Monte Ellis at 81. It's a pretty good rating, especially now he's on the Pacers, so he's in a new system, and hopefully he'll be very successful there. Not a fan of the Pacers, but I like to see him do well, and the same thing goes with Monte Ellis. And 81 is a pretty fair rating, especially since last year. I think he was an 83, and he did have a very good season with Dallas, but, you know, the rating drop, and the fact that he is getting older. I believe he's 30 now, which is not that old, but it's on the decline, I believe. He's still a special player, but there's much more to be desired at this point. 9th with Victor Oladipo at 80. That's a very good rating for Victor, as I believe he started off as a 77 or 78 last year, maybe 79. And that's a good rating, especially since he's proving he can be a shooter, and he's already a very good defender, and he can even be a playmaker at this point, which is very nice to see. Now, Bradley Beal at 10th with an 80 is he's, in my personal opinion, as of right now, he's an unpolished Klay Thompson. If he can get his defense where it needs to be and his all-around game and stay healthy, he can be pretty much not the next Klay Thompson, because I mean Klay's like 2 years older than him, but he can be a Klay Thompson mold of a very good shooter, defender, and just a guy who can make a team better. He doesn't average many rebounds or assists, but that's not too bad, especially considering he's such a good floor spacer and all-around player. Some guys that are missing from this list, at least in the PER category, is Gordon Hayward. I'm pretty sure they consider him a small forward, but for some reason ESPN considers him a shooting guard. I mean, he might be a shooting guard, but in Utah's system, he will be a best fit for small forward. So I think that's why he deserves to not be in this list. He should be top 10 for small forwards. He's a very successful player. Lou Williams is also in the top 10 along with Tyreek Evans. However, I believe neither of them will be a shooting guard next year. Lou Williams might be listed at point guard, and Tyreek's most likely a small forward. And then Goran Dragic. For some reason, I don't know why they say that he's a shooting guard, even though he played point guard last year with Miami, which is the most he played. So I think he should be top 10. Wait, was he top 10 for the point guards? Because he definitely should be a top. Yeah, he wasn't. He should be a top 10 point guard. Are you kidding me? I don't know how I let that slip, but he definitely should be a top 10 point guard if he's a point guard, or a top 10 shooting guard, because if he's less than an 80, that's just embarrassing. But overall, these are pretty nice ratings. Of course, there's guys who some people out there might be like, oh, you let him slip through, you didn't notice him, but hey man, I'm only one person. Oh, Chris Middleton. Wow, I feel really stupid, because Chris Middleton did prove at the end of last season that he can be a pretty decent player, but he's just a 3-and-D guy. But I don't know, I'm not 2K. However, you guys let me know. Like this video if you like this types of videos, because I'm not posting any more 2K15 gameplay for the most part. I might post a couple very, very small things between now and then, because I mean, rebuilding we got kind of getting bored of, especially since the new game's coming out next week. So there's no real reason for me to do big rebuildings anymore. I mean, they're fun to do, but to make the whole video, I would rather just wait a couple more days and do it then, because especially with now 3-team trades or whatever new features they announce, and I'm just really excited about the game, so I'd rather talk about the game than talk about a year-old game that's about to expire in a couple days. So thanks for watching, guys. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment what you think about the top 10 ratings. Tell me if I forgot anyone. I definitely did. Like, I'm not perfect, so I don't remember everyone in the NBA. You know, share with your friends if they want to know the top 10 ratings or whatnot. And finally, you know, just subscribe, because once 2K16 drops, I'm going to be announcing more news, more things about 2K16, and I'll be posting a lot of gameplay, whether it be my team, my career, my park, or anything else there is, and of course, rebuilds. So thank you guys so much for watching, and especially staying this long. Of course, have a good day.